Hello everyone and welcome to Azam Sharp YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to show you that how you can write your end-to-end test for your budget application. And before we do that, let me go ahead and show you, because I have added a lot of code in the budget application itself. So let's go ahead and check it out. It's nothing complicated. You can see that we have a screen which says new budget. If I click on new budget, it opens up this modal. I can go ahead and type the name of a new budget with some sort of a limit, and I can save it. And then it displays groceries, $500, and that's it. So we have two screens. One is the content view, which displays all the budgets, and the other one is the budget screen, which allows you to add a new budget. So how can we write an end-to-end test for the screen or this scenario where we can create a new budget? End-to-end test should be very close to the production test. Now, when you're using Swift data, although you can use in-memory database, that's fine because in-memory and the SQLite, the actual persistent database, are kind of very close to each other anyways. But we can also use the real database. Real means SQLite database. Okay? So the first thing we need to do for end-to-end test will be to add a new target. Now I've already added the target, but I'm still going to show you how you can add the target. Simply click on the project, go to editor, add a target, and in the filter, go ahead and search for test. And what we're going to add is the UI testing bundle. Not the unit testing, UI testing bundle. Now I've already added that. It's right there. I've removed one of the files because I didn't really needed that. And now the only file I have is the budget app UI test. And I have one function in there, which is called test create budget. So we're just gonna make sure that we can create a budget. So what should we do in there? How do we write the test? Now keep in mind that when you're writing end-to-end test, these tests are how the user, how the customer is actually using your product. So the first thing we need to do is create an instance of XCUI application. The XCUI application will contain all the things that you can do to interact with different controls on the screen. And it also allows us to launch. So if I simply say app.launch, this is going to launch my application. And when it launches the application, it actually launches it in a simulator, the actual application, like the budget app. The other thing that you can see over here, I have a testable import over here, but I don't think I need that. So let's remove that for now. I don't think I will be calling any methods or functions that are inside my budget app, unlike the budget app test where we were referring to the budget, we were referring to some other stuff, like over here we were referring to the expense. But over here in the UI test, we will be simply using it the way that the customer will use it. So the customer is going to launch the app, and what do you think they're going to do then? If you go and look at the app, let's go ahead and see if it loads correctly. They're going to click on this or tap on the new budget button, right? But how do we access this button? I mean, there's no ID on the button. So one of the ways that you access this button, which is in our content view right here, is you attach the accessibility identifier. So let's go ahead and attach accessibility identifier. And I'm going to call it, you can call it anything you want. I'm just going to call it new budget button. Okay, let's copy this name because this is the identifier we're going to use in our test to tap on the button. App.buttons, new budget button. We're going to put this into a new variable. And now I can say new budget button dot tap. this is kind of like we're tapping, or we are actually tapping on the button itself. Let's go ahead and run this. I know this is not really a test, but you'll see that what happens. So if I run this bit of code, only like 4 lines of code, when the test runs, it's going to tap on the new budget button. There we go. And then the test kind of ends. So looks like it's working correctly. But once we tap on the new budget button, we need to fill out the fields, fill out the controls in our new budget, this new budget or add new budget screen, this one. Add new budget screen. This means we need to access the name text field as well as the limit text field. And the way that we access that is, once again, the similar fashion. We're going to go ahead and say accessibility identifier, and we can say budget name text field. Let's copy that because the limit will be something similar. Budget limit text field. And then we're going to try to access also the done button. When we press to save all that stuff, we will say save budget button, right? Descriptive. So now we have added the accessibility identifier with the text fields and the button, we can access it. So let's copy that. We'll go back over here. We can say app.textfields. There we go. That's the first one. For the budget name text field, first we're going to go ahead and tap on the text field, and then we're going to tell our test to type something in the text field, like the name of the budget. Let's go ahead and say groceries. And the other one will be the limit, right? So let's call it budget limit text field. We already have added the ID in our code. So let's go ahead and copy that. And we're going to go ahead and tap on this one now. And we're going to go ahead and type some sort of a limit, let's say 500. Well, when we type the text, it has to be in string format. So make sure it is in string format. And let's go back to our view, copy the save budget button, because that is what you have to press in order to save something. So I'm going to say save budget button, app.buttons, save budget button, and then save budget button dot tap, just going to tap on it. So this is going to launch the app. It's going to go ahead, click on the new budget button, enter groceries into the budget name text field, enter $500 into budget limit text field, and then press the save button. And through our code, the modal or the sheet is going to go away. And what we expect, our list, which is right here in the content view, list right there, we expect this to have one item in the list. So again, I'm going to go ahead and say accessibility identifier, because now we want to access the list, budget list. Let's copy that. And I can say budget list equals to app.collection view. So the list is actually a collection view. And I can say XCT assert true budget list cells, meaning items in the list will be, well, count of those items will be 1. All right. Now you can go ahead and check even further by saying that the item name should be groceries and the text should be $500 or the amount or limit. I'm just making it simple. I'm just checking that there should be one item in the list. All right. And let's go back to our code over here. We'll go to budget app. Currently, you can see that the budget app is not even using Swift data container. I mean, we have the navigation stack, but we forgot to assign the model container. So let's go ahead and do that also. We did that for our previews, but not for our actual app. So go ahead and add model container on the navigation stack. Let's go ahead and run this. Okay. So let's see what happens now. So we're running. I'm not going to type anything. Oh, well, we already saw some problem, right? There was an item in the list. There were already some groceries in the list. So that's already not bad, not good. And this assertion actually failed because, well, we were expecting the item to be 1, but there was already something in the list. If I run the test again, watch closely, how many grocery items are in the list? There are already 2. Oh no, that's not good, because now when we run the test, that is being affected by the previous test or the test that ran a little bit earlier on. And that is never a good idea. Your tests should not interfere with each other. So this means that the fixtures are getting shared and the data is not getting deleted. So how can we try to solve this problem? Well, one thing you can do is if we go to the budget app, inside the budget app, in the init, somehow we can reset the database. Now, in order to reset the database, there are many different ways. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and create first of all, a container. This will be a model container. And we're just going to initialize a container which is not in memory. You can see is stored in memory is actually false. We're going to return the container. It's only going to be initialized once. And the model container needs the Swift data. So I'm going to use the Swift data. And everything else is fine. So over here we can see that I said is stored in memory only is false, which means that this is going to be storing in SQLite database, the real deal. We can add another function, a small function over here, reset database. And in this function, we can say container.mainContext. Main context is actually only available on the main actor, so we may not be able to access that. And there are a lot of different functions over here, but we're going to go ahead and use delete model, and we're going to say budget.self. Now, in order for us to access main context, we're just going to go ahead and decorate this with the main actor. Now, we can go ahead and call reset database over here, but the problem of doing that is that this means that every time you're going to run the app, it's going to reset the database. So that's not good. This means that if a person is running the app, and they run the app again, they will just completely destroy their database. So we only want to reset the database when we are doing developing, like testing. So in those cases, what we can do is we can provide a launch argument. So app.launch arguments, and we can say UI test. The great thing about these launch arguments is when we set these launch arguments in our test, we can access these launch arguments in our actual application. So I can go to my app again, and I can check for that particular key that we put in, which is UI test. But you can put any key you want. If processinfo.arguments.contains UI test, then and only then you are going to go ahead and reset the database. All right, let's go ahead and type reset the database. There we go, reset database. Let's go ahead and build it. Okay, so this is good because this is only going to reset the database, and by reset the database, we're just going to remove all the budgets. All right, let's go ahead and run the test again. Hopefully we will be able to see that there will be nothing displayed on the screen. Okay, that's good, nothing displayed, no groceries. Now we can add a grocery. We can add something, and there we go, our test is passing. Let's go ahead and run the test again. All right, there we go, we're running the test. We got the groceries, $500, test is passing. Great. So this means that whenever we're adding the data to the SQLite database, to the real database, that is not affecting our future test, which is great because that's exactly what we wanted. So in this lecture, in this video, you learn about that how you can write end-to-end test and how end-to-end tests are going to allow you to test from a user point of view. And these are the most important tests in your application. They are the best against regression, which means bugs. And usually you should create multiple end-to-end tests for each feature that you're working on. Try to do a longer happy path, meaning one test that is doing a lot of things, testing out the whole flow of some sort of a scenario in your application, and also a couple of edge cases. So great. Hope you like it, and thank you. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video. If you like this channel and want to support my videos, then the best way would be to check out my SwiftUI architecture course, and I have other courses on Teachable also. You can go to azamsharp.teachable.com. But this is my brand new course. I've been working on this course for close to 3+ years, and finally it's done. I have added all the things that I have learned in this course, that what kind of architecture you can use when building SwiftUI application. And it's a great discussion with the benefits, the pros and the cons of certain architectures, and how you can make your life easier by not fighting SwiftUI architecture or the SwiftUI framework itself. So I covered a lot of stuff. You can see moving from MVVM to MV, understanding the aggregate models or data stores, SwiftUI views, validation, navigation, and even a really big section that you can see on testing. So you can get this course for, if you want to just purchase it one-time deal, you can buy it for $149, or you can become a Azam Sharp Pro member and you can get this course for $25 a month. Now, Pro member gets a lot of really good benefits. So if I go to azamsharp.teachable.com, you can see the Pro members get 140 hours of videos, 50% off month of the workshops, monthly Q&A. This is over Zoom, and you get all of these courses. So usually people go for monthly membership because they get access to like all of these courses, which you can see is a lot of different courses on different things. And I always keep on adding different courses also. So check out azamsharp.teachable.com. The same website, a little bit nicer looking, I guess. It's on azamsharp.school also. You can see it's a front page or a landing page. So you can also visit it from there. The same course will be listed there along with the workshops. All right. So hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much.